Ooh, we got some people rolling on in. Pays to be on time. Welcome, welcome. All right, here's our co-host and guest today. We're going to bring you up. Can everyone hear me all right? Give us a thumbs up, smash some emojis. All right, yes. Hopefully there's not a delay. I see some emojis now. That's great. Can everyone hear me? I think so. All right, now come on up. Timpi. Who's behind the Timpi account today? Who's hiding back there? Oh, he must have left and joined again. Let's see. Maybe we'll bring up an old friend. I've added you as a speaker there, Action. Maybe you can hear us. All right, we'll get this on the road, hopefully, with their account. But in the meantime, if you're listening here and you're new, we'll tell you a little bit about today with our guest, Timpi. And also about Mask Network. We've got a lot of firepower this month. It's all coming out. Things that we've been working on for a very long time. So hopefully everyone is tuned in and they don't miss any of the stuff we're releasing in June, because there's a lot of big stuff coming out. Things that are well awaited. You know, if you're in the community already, you know a lot of this. But yeah, hopefully we'll get our guest back on. But feel free to join up here on the speakers stage, Action, if you're free. If you're not in another group or another chat, I know you're a busy man. But hopefully, X. I haven't gotten rugged in X for a long time, so yeah, I wonder what's going on here. Of course, there's always something happening, right? With X, some kind of update. Let's see. What's going on? We had this whole thing set up. I thought we would be perfectly on time, in sync today. But Timpi's disappeared as well. Do we have a backup account for Timpi? If anyone can join. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wing this on my own. We'll just make this a deep in mask space. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Thanks for your patience, everybody. We are getting this guest up here. We're going to make sure that they can join. All right. Well, for those who are on time and listening in, please bear with us while we deal with the technical stuff. I guess my speaker's working okay, so people can hear me. Give a little update on Mask. So we've had a lot of stuff in the works, as I mentioned. June is going to be a big month for us. Our premium is live. We're dialed in. And the biggest feature that we've been working on for quite some time, just behind mainnet, is the exit country feature. So for those who have used VPNs before, give us an emoji, shout out, or whatever. Put a comment in there. If you've used any VPNs or any VPNs and you're keen on finding content where you want in the country you want, we're bringing that to Mask. That's going to be a major game changer, because that puts us on the competitive level with every other VPN out there, who they use their centralized tech, with the central entity. And it also brings us into the forefront as a project that has the multi-hop feature, but allowing you to do a choice of a country. That's pretty damn unique. No other project, as far as we know, offers sort of a tour type of multi-hop and choosing your country. So we're real excited to do that. It was not an easy feat, but we hope to have that out extremely soon. If not, maybe this week. But hopefully we can showcase that ASAP and have people use it and test it and feel the love. And then you can basically take Mask where you want and navigate where you want. Ooh, we've got a speaker.
You're no longer alone.
Yes, I was just talking to myself, feeling the isolation here.
Were you like talking to myself and feeling old?
Yeah, I was just playing that tune in my head, man.
Dude, the Carpenters, they hit home.
Bro, they do. They can transmit all that emotion time after time.
That's Cyndi Lauper. You're thinking time after time is definitely Cyndi Lauper. Sorry.
No, I was dialing in another segue to another artist. You see, it was like, we're looping it back.
I forget how good you are at this. That's the problem, Corey. See, I have to explain myself to most people, but you got it down.
Well, it's been a while, my friend. How have you been? I know I've just kind of been filling in the gap here about Mask, but like, what's going on with you? Are you out at conferences?
I'm gonna be home for a little bit. I mean, every once in a while, the wife requests my presence, so I got to make sure I do that. But yeah, last one was Bitcoin Vegas. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
People like Saucy D Pins over here was there with me, Robert. It was a really good time, man. Like a lot of updates, let's say, to the maxis. No longer maxis. People are just looking at cool tech and figuring out, okay, what's next. As long as you can agree that Bitcoin is a store of value, let's play ball. Let's have a good time. Let's have fun and explore what else we can do out there, even if it's mask.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, it's there's always going to be maxis in each of the camps, right? But it's good when people can just vibe and say, hey, we kind of are in it for the right values. There's probably people that aren't, but at the end of the day, everyone wants everyone to be a part of the adoption, right? And get there for the good stuff.
I mean, one would hope, but that hasn't been the case previously. It's just nice to see people actually coming around and actually understanding that it is about having cool tech and that Bitcoin is just the key that kicked everything else off. So, which again, to me, none of us would be here. Like, I would not know you. I would not know anybody in this space unless Bitcoin was actually around and actually got launched. So, like, we all have something to be appreciative of when it comes to Bitcoin. But beyond that, there's so much opportunity. There's so much that we can do, and so much that we can not only learn but like grow this. The DLT world that we're kind of living in nowadays. It's pretty fun, dude. And honestly, like just seeing technology expand and seeing the cool things that we can do with it, like decentralized VPNs, like ensuring that the whole internet is actually indexed in a decentralized manner, like all that actually is not only fun, profitable, but ultimately, I think that it makes for a whole better world for us to live in when we're not, kind of stuck with the powers that be, making the calls and making all the decisions for us. So yeah, I'm here for the long haul, excited about what's going on, and yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That's right, man. That's right. Couldn't have said it better myself. So
you can clip it. You can clip it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is great. The audio bites. Now we have AI who could just like cut it out and be like, I'll just say, hey, look at anything that Action has said. Cut it out. Make a little snippet. Wrap it up. Send it to me. And then yeah, boom. Bob's your uncle.
I love it. But, okay, so talk to me here. Let me go over what's going on Mask real quick. You said that the final hop, that final exit country is finally live.
We're about to push it out. We're testing it now in the last sort of phase before we push it to the extension. Then we're going to loop back and put it out to the browser users. But yeah, basically so most people who have a typical VPN they pay for now or other providers, you can choose your country you want to go to, right? Tor is probably the only one that just sort of random, which is what we've had up to now. Now we've solved that. We've added that feature. And basically, you start up Mask. You say, "Hey, I want to surf in the UK for a specific thing, or I want to buy something. I want to buy flights and make sure I get the best price, not buy where I'm living now, which is like surveillance marketing. I want to go browse in the UK. You choose you pull up your exit country list. UK pops up. Yep, that's available. Boom, you're in the UK."
Wow, you answered awesome questions all in one, because I was going to ask, like, what does that allow you to do? Because ultimately, like, there are things that, like, I'll give you, my Netflix example. Like, there are things that I know I can only watch from certain regions, and not having that kind of limits you. But if you have the option of actually selecting those things, that's a pretty darn big deal.
It is. And like I was saying before, it actually is that final piece that we felt in the business sense behind the project. It puts us in the same competitive standing as other VPNs, as maybe other providers. And then as far as we know in the Web3 side, it gives us an edge because a lot of other projects doing similar privacy tools, which they're all good in different pros and cons, but a lot of them are either more like one-point models where you pick a country, but that's all the one that you can choose to, that's the only one you can browse from until you disconnect and choose another server. Or they have multi-hop, but you can't choose the country. So we've kind of like blended the two, which is like as far as we know, one of a kind right now in the Web3 space.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say disagree slightly with you, just because it sounds like you're trying to compare yourself to regular VPNs out there. But I got to ask one really important question, at least for me. Are you selling my data?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
we can't even sell it.
You're not like the other people. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? We're in a league of our own, right? But that's what sets us apart too, man. Everything's end to end encrypted, number one. So it's secure. Like even if somehow someone was trying to watch your traffic, like if they said, let's stake out Action's house and look at the packets, they can't even see what's inside. And in most cases, they won't know where it's coming from or going to, or that it's even masked. And the other fact is there's no logging. So there's no, like the code's open source, so you could see if there's any way that stuff's transmitted elsewhere to log stuff, but there's no way that that's there. And also because there's no central entity running all the nodes, everyone's running nodes, there's no way to log everything. So it's very, very secure in terms of, basic tried and true concepts. And we built it all into Mask.
I love to hear that. Oh, Timpi came and went. That was quick. I was about to say we're going to bring him up, but
yeah, man, I just clicked add to co-host, add to speaker. How did it look when you did yours?
I left and came back and requested, even though you didn't send me an invite, or it looked like you didn't send me an invite. It just brought me up immediately.
Okay, yeah, because I've been sending it.
Do you know who's supposed to be behind the Timpi account?
It's supposed to be Gareth.
Gareth has his own account. It's got very little followers, but it is real.
I just mentioned that. Yeah, maybe he could join in with his. But you're familiar. Maybe you could help fill in a little bit with the audience.
I'm gonna do something even better. Yourself. I'm just sending a message on the chat here real quick.
Yeah.
I will be right back. Watch this.
He's got the tricks, this guy. He's got the tricks. Nice. All right, well, here we go. Speaker.
Hey,
greetings.
Is that how we say it out there?
G'day, mate. Yeah. Are you herding sheep right now? Is that why you're bad reception?
No, that's because it's Action.
Oh my gosh, this guy's a hacker.
Sorry. So Gareth, just a little shout out. I've had access to the account for a while and I just don't screw people over. So I got you here. I just want to make sure I got the Timpi account up. Try to come up with your own, see if that works. But Timpi, dude, yeah, we're good people.
Yeah, nice. I actually, you were mentioning them some time ago, and I've been quietly watching Timpi build, and it's been really, really cool to see. I like how they've launched everything layer by layer, really trying to, make it all a decentralized system that can kind of rival Google in terms of the amount of data and the amount of indexing that they're doing. But I'll leave that up to the guys, or maybe yourself to give a little insight into that.
This is the best thing. Like, not under my account, so I got to let y'all know that whatever I say doesn't really reflect on Timpi. But I love when we actually leverage technology the way that it's supposed to be. Like, I'm going to be the first person out there to say DPIN is awesome. I love it. I think that more people should be leveraging it. But it is not the right tool for everything. Stop trying to make round pegs fit a square hole. Like, that just doesn't work. But there are things that it makes a ton of sense for, and those are the things that I love to support. I love to to be behind. And perfect, like the sweetheart of DPINs right now is definitely GeoNet as far as profitability goes, and how just that network has been just kicking butt. And I think it's the same aspect with Timpi, with Mask. It's figuring out what actually makes sense to decentralize, to have these nodes out there, because when it comes to Timpi, it's a pretty hefty task for you to go out there and try to have enough servers to scout the internet, to ensure that everyone is getting the data. But if you have that decentralized manner where people can go out there and actually pick up that data and then supply it to the network, like, that's a huge win for everybody. And let me make another really quick point here. I love how Timpi has been rolling things out one piece at a time. A lot of times what we see in this space is that people are not actually able to keep up with what's happening, because they try to, let's go ahead and make some money. Let's put up some nodes out there and we're just going to cash in. And while that is true, while that does happen, you have nothing to show for afterwards. You have way too much supply and not enough demand. So the way Timpi has been going about this is slowly releasing the things that they need. Like, they didn't need, a lot of GPU power a little while ago, but as AI increases and as those demands increase, well, guess what? Those requirements kind of go up, and that's what they've been doing. They have been very diligent in ensuring that they don't have an excess of compute. Let's call it that, just to encompass it all. And we've been slowly dripping that in, and essentially saying, "Hey guys, we have more room. We can supply more rewards, and we want to make sure that we're doing this the right way, not just a cash grab like most people have been doing in deep ends." And it's sad to see what happens a lot of times in the space where people are literally leveraging, the deep end narrative as just that one way to cash grab from anybody they possibly can. So when I see people doing it right, when I see people actually excited to support networks that have a purpose, have a meaning, and that can actually use decentralized infrastructure the right way, man, I'm all about it.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I think that's something that has to be cleverly executed with any sort of deep-in rollout, because if you do it in the wrong order, or you do something, like too hastily, and you're not able to be flexible enough to adapt, based on demand or based on, how things go, it can definitely affect the growth. You want to keep like a steady momentum and trajectory to roll it out, because, the fact that deepin relies on the users and the nodes itself, and hardware based, like it's got to be there. It's like a chicken and the egg thing in some bits, but then also in some bits, you got to know the network's established, like that hardware layer's running, you got enough people there, and then the mining kicks in and the rewards kick in and everyone gets excited. So yeah, I've certainly been watching for months, watching everything develop. So, should I just call you Action Gareth today until he shows up?
You can call me whatever you want, as long as you don't call me late. I'm not going to pull that joke on you. I'm sorry. That's way too terrible.
Yeah. We'll be careful.
No, I really do love what's happening in the space for the right people, the right companies. And you're right. I mean, it is a matter of ensuring that we're doing this. Let's call it the right way, where we actually are building networks that matter, that have function, that actually take care of people, and don't rug like X Spaces.
Oh man. Yeah, it's been a wild time. It feels weird. I haven't been rugged on X Space in a while because I've been doing less spaces. So it's kind of a refresh today. But yeah, some people in the crowd, I know some are probably from Timpi, some are probably from Mask. Welcome to everybody. And this is the start of, some of our collaborating we'd like to do. But the reason I think there's a shared ethos here, and I've spoken to the Timpi team a number of times, and they're great people, really, just the same fundamental beliefs in what the internet should look like for between Mask and Timpi. Like, we share a lot of the same values. And essentially, we just believe that the people should be integral to the fabric of it, right? It shouldn't be gate kept. It shouldn't be censored. It shouldn't be filtered by the powers that be that say, hey, you're only supposed to see this, or if you search this, we're only going to show you results of this, because we want to shape the narrative, right? We're tired of that shit. All of us are tired of that shit. That's why we're here in Web3. That's why we're here building, if you're a builder, or mining, if you're a miner, or being a community showing up for something you believe in. That's why we're all here. So it's really just cool to talk to that vibe of people, and, not another DeFi project that's shaping some weird version of yield that's just regurgitated again. We're building something that's for the future, right? And for the internet, it should be. So yeah, really cool to be around that crowd. And of course, Action's and he's always involved with the cool people, man. You got to follow this guy. He knows the good ones.
You speaking about yourself much here?
No, I'm humble pie, my man, But I heard that there's some cool things coming live soon. I actually don't know, but I hear that there's some stuff in the works that have been in the works for a while for Timpi that might be rolling out soon. Or you guys are maybe looking at testing it soon? Can we have a little sniff of any cool stuff there?
I don't know how much I'm actually allowed to say, so I'm just going to say as little as possible while hinting at all the things that are actually happening. Testing has already been going on. Like, that's the whole thing. I think it's more of a matter of testing things publicly, because we have been like endlessly, like the search aspect of it, like we've been doing this day in, day out, for months and months and months. It's just we're fine tuning. We want to make sure that it actually not only works, but it works well, because that's what's going to, kind of set the tone and separate what Timpi is able to do versus everyone else. Because I'm not going to talk about competitors or competition around here, but what happens is that we see a lot of people claiming to be something that they are not, and that's a scary thing to happen in this space, is when people start making claims and can't back them up. So let's go ahead, making claims, that's absolutely fine to say, but ultimately we want to be able to push it out there and have people test it out for themselves. The proof is in the pudding, like they say, and I want to make sure that people can actually try out the things that we've talked about, the things that we say are happening in the background, because they're we can call them live. I don't think it's a problem to say that. We are technically live in the background actually testing things, so it's just a matter of letting the public kind of see everything that we've been up to and all the things that we're actually working on.
Yeah, fair enough. So I think anyone who's listening who likes the sound of some of this stuff, but wants to dial back all the privacy, like I'm a bit of a nerd. I get sucked in and I start talking the tech and back and forth. What I would love for people to hear is, maybe this question answered: is Timpi going to be a drop-in replacement for someone who doesn't like Google and wants to get away from them?
I would say that is literally the ultimate goal. We want to make sure that people, can actually browse the web the right way without any, let's call them shady restrictions, because I don't know how often you guys try to do this, but go on Google or any other search engine and compare and contrast the kind of things that you see. The searches that you do, they give you some wild results, and they are literally tailoring those results for you, figuring out, okay, what can we push these people's buttons with? How can we, change their perspective? How can we actually influence the people that are searching these platforms? And that's not only not fair, that's kind of evil, if you ask me. I know that Google had this motto of not being evil for a long time, and then all of a sudden, I think it was 2004, they kind of just disappeared that and dropped it. So the don't be evil thing, I think, is gone out with they threw out the baby with the bathwater. That's the best way to say it, because they are really looking at profitability. I want to make sure how much can we extract from users. I think there's like 27 data points at any given time that they're tracking you with, but secondly, what narrative can we push onto our users? I'm sure a lot of people saw election results, right? Looking things up as far as the elections went, it was wild. It was wild to see things that made absolutely no sense. Like, why in the world are these things actually popping up? Why are they actually showing up where they quote unquote shouldn't be showing up? We're searching for one thing but getting results for another. That's scary. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Those are things that are just blatant that we can actually see and quantify. The amount of times that y'all are probably doing searches and not getting the results that you not only want, but being shown things that you really don't want to see, that's scary. And I think about, not only for myself, but I think about my kids, man. Like, that's the scariest part of it all. Like, I don't think I can allow them to use Google as a whole. Like, there are some platforms that I'm afraid for them to get on, because I don't know what's going to be shown to them, what's going to be put in front of them. So you better believe it, I have that website blocked on any device that these kids have access to. So it's just, I don't feel safe. I don't know how else to describe it, but if I don't feel good using it, let alone my kids, right? So it's just a matter of not only becoming the replacement, but becoming a standard that people should have access to data as they see fit. They should be able to access things that they're actually searching for, and not just get handed things that others might be paying for you to see, and B, things that really make absolutely no sense for it to be put in front of these people. So Google replacement, I would love to call it that, but ideally we can go beyond it, because we want to do it the right way.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said. I'm not a maxi on much besides maybe Mask and a few other things I really believe in the Web3 space. But one thing I will say I am a maxi on is de-Googling your life. Honestly, like probably the worst thing personally that I have is still an Android phone, but I've totally stripped back as much as I can. My goal this year is to get myself a Graphene OS phone, which, funnily enough, as ironic as it is, you have to buy a Google Pixel, which is the best, phone to do it on, because it's all compatible hardware-wise. But, I just love any de-Google type product. And that's what I just seem to gravitate to. And that's why Timpi's been so attractive. That's why other partners of ours that we've established formally are attractive. But also just so many cool apps out there. Like there's so much you can do while getting away from them and realizing, wow, I don't need to fall into that whole surveillance capital market model where I'm shown, what they want me to see and whatnot. So, yeah, I know Timpi's building, a massive alternative for that. It's going to be big. And that's kind of what I wanted to know is like, once everything's live, like, can someone just say, I'm done with Google, I'm going with Timpi the new way, and load that into all of their browser experience? I mean, it sounds like that's going to be easy, right?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, personally, I've X'd Google out of my life as much as possible. So I don't see it being very difficult for other people to do so. Like you have a harder time at Mask because you're literally asking people to give up their browsing experience, right, as a whole, which I have also done myself. But there are, more hurdles, I guess you could say. It's one of those things that it's a lot easier for us to get somebody to use a new search engine than a new browser. So, we have it easier than Mask does. But again, like you have such a faithful community and people are, doing so many good things when it comes to leveraging the Mask network. And, especially now with the extension coming out and everything, it's exciting to see how far we can go.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to add in is we were quite aware of that too. Like we wanted to do something novel and fun, try and be maybe like besides the Brave, which they've got this huge market that they built some amazing stuff too, don't get me wrong. But we wanted to be more of like a Web3 native browser, which I think we achieved quite well. And it gives us a playground that we can really do some amazing custom user experiences. And I've thought of all different amazing things that we could do, with partners like Timpi and others, and really lean into AI as well. That's something we've been looking at a lot. I'll hint that I've been in talks with Venice AI because I really believe in what they're doing as a privacy-first platform that's offering AI and LLM services that really, they're trying their best to honor your privacy, just like what we're built on, right? But having the extension allowed us to elevate ourselves from just our own browser experience, and now you can bring it into your own browser. So if you're not ready to switch browsers, you're new to Mask, you just want to say, well, I still like Mask, I still want to use their VPN, DVPN, you can get the extension. It's like 2 minutes click, 2 minutes of clicks, download, boom, you're done, and you can privatize your browser. So maybe you're stuck with Google Chrome for the moment, you're not willing to switch yet, hey, you can privatize that experience with Mask. And I would love to see how Timpi plays into that as well, because is like you said, you've got this browser experience. How do you bring that tech in and avoid big tech, using alternatives? So yeah, we're pretty excited about being in the position we're in with those two products from Mask. But I know AI is a big thing. AI is like everything is kind of touching AI, and AI is touching everything else in the world, right, in different ways. How is Timpi leaning into AI? I know on your website you've got some stuff about, being able to have a truly decentralized search index that could be used to train LLMs or interact with LLMs. Do you know much about how Timpi's working with that?
Yeah, because I've been running this stuff in the back end for a while. So we have 4 different kinds of nodes. We have the collector nodes, we have guardian nodes, and we have snaptron nodes. But at the end, we have something called Geo Core nodes. Those are going to be coming up for sale here in a bit, but they all work together to create one massive ecosystem, right? Something that can actually, with a collector node, actually go out there and search the web. Pretty low requirements too when it comes to the collector node. That's like the basic. If you're storing things, right, that's your guardian nodes. You're putting stuff away, making sure things are where they should be. Snaptron nodes, that's your good old GPUs being put to work. That's where the AI piece kind of comes in. And there is kind of a minimal requirements with that. There are 2 tiers. There's a 4 to 6 gigabyte for VRAM, depending on your card, or anything above the 8 gigs of RAM there. So you can actually do a little bit more which is not that much if you think about it. You're talking about a 1080 Ti, right, which is 250 watts, and that's got over 8 gigs of VRAM already. But that's how it kind of works. We're not only saying that AI is decentralized, we're literally leveraging people's hardware all over the globe to be able to do that. Gareth, real quick, I just sent you an invite. I don't know if you see it. Click on the bottom left-hand corner, that little request button, see if you can get you up here. It should be automatic since you got an invite. Breaking news announcement. Let's see if we can get Gareth up here. Gareth is taking over as CEO of Google. Really, really cool thing happening. Unless he corrects me and jumps up here. Yep, he left. It's real. It's happening.
Oh, I knew it. Is he renaming it Toogle? He should rename Google Toogle with the T for Timpi.
Oh, man, that's funny.
There we go.
Bummer. We'll try to keep getting him up here. I think he might be trying to join from PC. I've had this problem before where if you have permissions for your microphone a little messy, it does kick you off. And it's not a fun experience there. But the node sale, that's kind of a big one. There is some really cool things happening. Just want to give everybody a heads up. It's going to be on the 29th of July. That's going to be for the Geo core nodes, which ideally those are up all the time. Those are the units that you never want to shut down. You want to make sure you have good uptime on those, and basic requirements, 4-core CPU, 8 gigs of RAM. I think it's just 3 gigs of, free disk space and a decent bandwidth as far as connectivity goes, like 50 up and down as far as your connectivity is concerned. But it's just a matter of supporting this cool network and bringing it all together. That's what these GeoCores are all about, ensuring that we are actually ensuring that people are getting the best possible, not only results, but data from all of these other nodes that are kind of being put together here, from the guardians that are storing, from the collectors that are going out there and actually doing the indexing, and the Snaptron nodes, which are, helping us have AI capabilities on the platform itself. So, I forgot, I need to do this. Make sure that you use coupon code ACTION.
Oh man, I was going to drop my referral code now. Just kidding.
That's the ongoing joke. If you guys are ever going to sign up for anything, just try ACTION as a code. It might work, it might not. I might get something, I might not. Regardless, it's worth a try.
Well, the last time I did that, I had a like 5 texts afterwards say that there was a fake package waiting for me, and I almost got scammed. So I don't know.
Is that from sorry. You? How did you why are you giving your data to untrustworthy people? That's all I'm going to say. If you're,
see, I knew it.
You probably found that link not on Timpi. That's the problem, and you probably clicked on it without having mask on. So I don't know what to say, man. I think it sounds like a personal problem.
It was a test. Yeah, I failed miserably. I shouldn't have done that. But anyone who's a node runner is probably going to love the stuff that you've been talking about. Some of you are all probably loyal node runners as well. I did have a question. Are there caps on how many nodes for each one, or maybe the latest one you're rolling out? Is there a cap on how many nodes that they're wanting to support?
How many nodes people are willing to support? I mean, depends if you're Action or somebody else, man, because I might have a few. Gareth is up here.
Oh, he's here.
Oh my God, am I here?
You are.
He's here. The ghost of Timpi past.
I cannot tell you how incredibly frustrating that is to hear you all talk about Timpi and not being able to say anything.
Like the fact that you're CEO of Google now? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you've dropped all the alpha action before I was able to get here.
So is he fired? Is Action fired, or is he still allowed to
again? Fired again.
Yeah, no, he's COO of Google. I've just hired him.
Yeah, he's the secret one. He's the secret one.
Well, nice. I appreciate you doing such a good job, Action, in talking on behalf of Timpi there, and apologise for not being able to get in. I think X is censoring us, right? They don't want us to talk. I wonder why.
There is no coincidences in this world, is there?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you didn't give up. The key was you didn't give up, man. You're here with us. Is there anything you want any newcomers here in the chat to know about Timpi? Like, maybe a quick pitch from you as the leader,
including the influencers that are in the house, from Cameron's, of the world, to Denny the Bull with awesome YouTube channels.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
great to see a lot of long-time supporters in here, and really great to speak with you guys. Yeah, so look, I do you want me to give a quick intro into Timpi for people from the Mask community here, and then we'll see where we go. I guess we've only got 25 minutes, but so Timpi's we've been building an ecosystem over the last 2 years that, as Action was saying, right, we're allowing society access to unmanipulated data online, free from censorship and biases that the industry leaders have been introduced and to manipulate your choices according to their own commercial partnerships and political agendas. And we've done this firstly by building our infrastructure that is collecting and storing the data from the internet, and this is done through our Deepin network. We have over 1,500 nodes operating across the globe currently. We do also have another sale coming up on the 29th that we will see if we can talk about a bit later. But this Deepin network essentially allows us to have our own data index of the internet, which we're using to power our search engine that's releasing this year. And also we're providing direct access to our index for our API services for application developers, researchers, and AI training. Our Deepin network is capable of collecting over 3 billion pages a week. And at this rate, by the end of this year, will be the third largest index of the internet. A couple of the points that you've both picked up on whilst we've been talking here is that the key thing about Timpi's index, and the most important thing, is that it's completely independent from any other search engine. So, we're able to build a search engine that focuses on delivering value for society without manipulating people for our own gains. And then to put this into context, there are only 5 other large-scale maintained indexes of the internet in the entire world, and they're controlled by Google, Bing, Yandex, Baidu, and the 5th one being Timpi. When you search on any other search engine like DuckDuckGo or Ecosia, they use the indexes of these big tech organizations, and thus introduce the same manipulation that we're all talking about here. But again, it's not just manipulation, it's how they're abusing and collecting our data. So that's the driving force that unites everyone at Timpi and our community. Like we're standing up against companies that have monopolized our access to information and are abusing our freedom. So yeah, I guess that's a quick introduction about what we're talking about. I think the key thing with Timpi is our mission, okay, to allow people for the first time access to the internet without being manipulated. And I think when people start to use our search engine, they'll be shocked about the different kind of results they're getting. And I think it's, at a deeper level, everyone in the world uses search engines, and what's happening is, with all the manipulated information that we're getting that's curated according to other people's agendas, is that it's ultimately, pushing people into echo chambers, and it's fractioning society. So actually, releasing a search engine that doesn't manipulate the data will have a huge impact on the way society utilize the internet, and hopefully actually bring society together, because they're able to access information that's not being curated for them.
Yeah, it's a mission we should all be backing, right? If you're in this room, if you're in this X space, these are things that the world needs. It's not like some weird Orwellian orb that's going to scan your eye and prove that you're a person, right? Not some weird crap tech like that's going to just enslave people. We're the opposite. We're trying to free the world, right? Give you access to everything, not manipulate you, not try and drive a narrative to make profits. It's just like, this is what it should have been, right? This is what it should be, always.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what I really like about the blockchain space and the deep in space is that there's organizations like Masq, like Timpi, whose the mission and the vision is beyond profits. Okay, we have a real purpose to benefit society and to move it in the right direction. So it's a really special time, I think, where the technology's aligned with a significant time in the world where it seems that everything, society's being fractioned. The technology's there for organizations like ourselves to actually, push a vision that benefits people.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I really see it's a great privilege to be working in this space at this time, particularly. We speak about AI, and there's fears about how AI is going to be affecting the industry because not the industry, it is impacting the industry in a huge way, but the results that users get from AI can be curated and manipulated more than ever. Right, so they're trying to change behaviour, and rather than giving people lots of information and a broad view of information, they're changing people's habits. So they just give one answer, and they say, "Well, you just accept this answer. You don't need to know anything else. Just believe what we're telling you in this single answer." Right, and that's what we're combating and changing. Right, at Timpi, we do use AI heavily. We're somewhere between sort of Google and Perplexity, but we're utilizing AI to enhance people's knowledge and enhance their way that they can navigate the internet, rather than just trying to push them down a single route.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said. We need that. We need these players to, like yourselves, and even here at Masq. If we're not pushing back, then it's just more capture of the mind share by the big corp who, their power structures are so entrenched in all areas of life, and most people walk through life not realizing, right? And there has to be some kind of pushback with alternatives that are true to what they're built on, and actually that where the community's invested in the right way of the vision, not money invested, but just in the vision of what they would like to see. So yeah, I feel like that's why we share a lot of the same values too. Every time we've spoken about it, these are the topics that come up.
Cameron has his hand up. I'm a little scared just because who it says yes to work in a movie called Thank You for Smoking.
That's too funny. No. How's it going, Action? Thank you. And everyone here. No, all I was saying is I just wanted to add to what Gareth was basically talking about with AI these days is pretty crazy, and it's interesting to see even, for Timpi, it's the unbiased ways. I've been a big advocate of Timpi for years now at this point in crypto terms. And even on X now, I call it X, it's interesting to see what happened in the last couple of days with Trump and Elon, right? And Elon even got fact-checked by his own grok, you know what I mean? So it was just interesting to see the strength that AI can have, but it's one of those things where right now, on a global scale, it is seen as, dangerous, just like crypto, just like everything else, where it's like and for me, I've always been just giving this to the public, giving this to the people, having come from a mining background in crypto. It's all about decentralization. It's all about all the roots of crypto and everything. And this really does come from that, where it's unbiased. It's everything. And that's what really matters. And that's what we hope to bring, is like being supporters of something like this. That's what we want,
Yeah. 100%, man.
And it's not people are afraid of AI and what it's going to do, and AI is evil, but it's not the technology, right? It's the intent behind how the technology is used, and that's the difference that we're making here is that we're utilizing technology to enhance the user experience in a positive way. And when I say enhance user experience, I don't mean the way that the big tech corporations are saying that they enhance it. Their enhancement is to track and monitor and abuse your data and manipulate your minds. I talk about enhance by actually, as I keep on banging the drum, right, which is about allowing people freedom to make their own choices.
Cameron doesn't know anything about that. Right. He's in Canada.
Well, I don't know. Is he might. We don't want to start a fight in here, action in this X space.
No. I love it. I would never start a fight with him. I would DM fight him if anything.
Yeah, I know. I joke. You guys have it out, bro. I mean, is there a hockey game coming up? Is that why this is fierce?
You're talking to a Canadian who watches soccer and calls soccer football. So you're talking to you're not preaching to the right choir at that point.
Oh yeah, you got to watch out when you go have drinks with your buddies and be like, "Hey, I heard what you said on X. You're not invited here."
I'm like, oh, Edmonton's in the finals? Cool. I'm like, that's where we're at, but that's how much of a country we are, I guess, these days. It's like, as long as there's a Canadian team in the finals, we're good. Because fuck America.
It's funny, man. But on that note, though, I bet you that if you search certain things, you would get an absolutely different result to what I would search here in New Zealand. And to be fair, I see so much weird narrative news. Obviously, I've turned all MSM off. I don't watch any mainstream media. Like, really, X is where I go to get a scoop. And often I'm front running every news desk that is mainstream when I look on X First Topic and I see, a couple different posts and I'm like, cool, let's check it out. I mean, that's the world we live in. You want unbiased to make your own decision, right? And that's what the big corp has gotten very comfortable doing, is that, like Garrett said, they're manipulating things. They're making people feel so comfortable and unaware. Hey, this is the source of truth. I'm just going to believe everything. It's so easy to use. One click and I get all my life delivered to me. Well, I don't have to think anymore, right? Like, that's a dangerous area to be in for our kids, I think. And that's why I'm passionate about this whole thing we're talking about.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that literally happened today, where I was to be honest, I've been working commercial fishing. So I was just on a boat for the last 2 weeks in basically the middle of nowhere, but we have Starlink thanks to Elon. But then I got to see the downfall of Elon and Trump and all this weird bullshit that's going on. But then as well, I came back and I mentioned to my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, well, there's protests going on in LA about ICE and Donald Trump and all this. And she is normally just on Facebook and Instagram and stuff and Reddit, and she didn't really see what was going on. She was like, oh, I have no idea what's going on in Los Angeles. And I was like, yo, this is actually like a crazy thing going on down in the States. So exactly what you're saying. Like, I had a situation today where it was just being, and I don't necessarily want to say X or anything, but being on alternative media and social media and everything, and these different apps that, might be, this is my slant back to Timpi, because I maybe know some things, but we're trying to bring information to the world, and we're trying to bring information to the world without any oversight. And people that know what that means is, if you can access the internet without your government shutting you the fuck down, that's a huge thing, because it's happened. It has happened. It happens every single day. So if we can do that, if we can bring it through Timpi, through these different apps and everything, it's a huge thing where we can bypass this through satellites, through all this stuff, So yeah, there's stuff going on in the background that definitely watch out for Timpi, Mask, all these companies, because There's going to be crazy shit happening pretty quick.
And I'll take it to the next level. I am about an hour and a half from those riots, and my wife had no clue they were going on. So yeah, this is a common thing happening nowadays. Like you'll hear about the news that they want you to hear about, and that's it. I mean, that's literally where it ends. So it's kind of wild to even think about that. We think that we are free to gather information, but the right information rarely makes it out to us.
Well, to use that extreme event happening now, like it's not conspiracy anymore for anyone to just actually look at it and say, wow, the text there, like it is there. Like Google would have the ability to probably geo-censor or manipulate data on the suburb level or the area you're in action if you search something. They could very well not show you half of what's going on, live news, live clicks on websites, whatever's trending. You'd be able to manipulate that away from people that are like living an hour away to prevent them from seeing certain things if they didn't want you to see it. And it's just crazy, man. Like it is. It's not to fearmonger everyone into like the world's going to be really, we're all enslaved. But the thing is, if you don't push back about those things that are morally wrong and ethically wrong, who will? Right? Someone's got to do it. And it can't be about money because that's how they play the game. They've got so much money to throw around. Like, you got to do it the right way with the power of the people. And that's what is strong about Masq and Timpi, because it is about the people running the network. So that's why we're here.
And there's two sides to this equation, right? Because as you said, the Google and Bing, the big guys, they absolutely manipulate that according to your location. So depending where you are around the world, they'll filter it, and often work with governments to filter the information according to their political agendas or the political agendas that they're aligned with. And so at Timpi, right, we can offer search results which don't have those political agendas or political biases. So everyone gets the same information no matter where you are in the world. But in some locations, you can't actually access it. The government stops it. So, this is where, we can provide the information, but then it's organizations like Masq, and, this is why I love your integrated VPN services that allow people, no matter where you are in the world, to access that unbiased information. So it's going to take several organizations and for us all to come together to make this work.
Yeah, 100%. It's these layers of decentralization. They take a while. Like you guys have been building this meticulously for years now, under the radar in some ways, because you want to launch it right and have it resilient. And people don't realize that their own hardware is going to be more and more important into the future. As the war on GPUs and compute continues, all about chips and all about who's going to buy all the NVIDIA chips up and get these big data centers going, like that means that the freelancers and all these hobbyists and people like us, like hardware, decentralized versions of hardware and deep is going to be more and more important, because we can actually power stuff as a group almost as good as some of these big data centers eventually, right? So if you can decentralize the hardware, then you can decentralize the access with Masq, then you decentralize the data with Timpi, so it's uncensored, unmanipulated, and of course give everyone access to the same stuff. And then you've got crypto decentralizing money, so you can't gatekeep people to pay for services. We win the internet. Like that's the goal, right? That's it.
All right, so
we win the internet back, and we're giving the internet back to the people. I mean, it's almost like you just set me up for a segue to talk about our up-and-coming node sale there.
Of course I did. This is all part of my plan.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running out of time, and actually, I'd love for us to host another space with you guys so we can delve into these things more deeply. Because I think the more we talk about it, the more we bring awareness to what's actually happening, and because the services that we're offering are unique, very rare, right? And so people need to understand what they mean, and so I'd love to have another space, and perhaps we can actually have the full hour. But yeah, node sale. So I wanted to pitch our node sale. It's coming up on the 29th of July. This is our fourth node sale that we've had. All the node sales sell out within two to 3 days. Actually, I think our last one went to like 4 or 5 days. But they sell out very quickly. We don't issue a lot of nodes. We're not one of the deep in projects that has tens of thousands of nodes. So this is our last sort of sale before we open up to then be traded on the secondary markets. So join us on our Twitter. Make sure you're following us. The sale's happening 29th of July. The first 3 days are going to be whitelist, and so if you follow us, then you'll get the updates on how to join our whitelist. In total, we've got 4 of the nodes that are being sold. Our collectors, guardians, synaptrons. We're doing a new batch, and then a batch of geocores. So yeah, 29th of July
Sounds good, man.
Our final node sale coming up.
If someone in your community or yourself could quickly add into the live space comments, if someone wants to find out what node's best for them, like looking at specs or maybe what they're interested in, where's the best place to go? What website should we go to?
So the best place for information is X. If you want more details on how to run the nodes, join our Discord. And all the information is also on our website as well. So timpi.io, you can link to it. Actually, we've got a new website that's going to be released very soon. We've got quite a lot of things happening in the next few months. We've got new websites, marketplaces, we've got node sales, we've got the search engine being released, we've got the data API that's going to be into public access. So yeah, this next few months are going to be very, very interesting time for us.
Nice. You see, I'm dropping these breadcrumbs for you, man. You know, like letting you know the website. You can pitch the new website. No, that's good, man.
I've been categorically told I can't give any dates, but all of this stuff is, we're in the final stages of a lot of the work that we've been working on over the last few years. It's all about to be released. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same sentiment too. You know, it's been, some of the stuff's been hard work to complete, but just to round off where we're at too with Mask. You know, all of the hardcore followers, you'll see that very, very highly desired feature of Exa Country Choice coming soon. It's in that final testing. It'll hit the extension first. Anyone who's a premium user or has Mask from testing and stuff, you'll be able to try it out. Pick your country you want to browse from, and enjoy that. And then, of course, next stop is mainnet for us. We'll be launching our mainnets, which is the biggest, basically the biggest milestone of Mask as a project. You know, everything's going to be fully live. And if you want to get in early, I've been hinting at it in different ways. And from our official account, you know, become a user and even a premium user before mainnet. You know, there are good things coming for that too. But keep an eye out on our socials, and lots of amazing stuff coming out for this month. But yeah, love what you guys are doing at Timpi. I appreciate your time too. Thanks for not giving up, joining in, Gareth, with X trying to rug you. It worked out well, and we'll definitely do a follow-up too. If not next week, maybe the week after, we'll do a follow-up space, and so that'll be good.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be great to have the full hour so we can sort of delve into these topics a bit more deeply and not feel rushed. But glad I got on, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we've got a bit of a giveaway. One of our OGs in our community has pledged a prize. I said I would pledge a prize too. So maybe I'll let you two, so I'm not biased at all. If Action and Gareth, you each want to pick one random person in the audience just by Twitter handle, and we'll give them a prize. I think one was $50 a mask and $50 in Timpi, and I'll give a $50 mask prize as well. So pick two winners, guys.
Okay, well, I've scrolled down and I see Scyther.
Nice, there we go. Yeah,
Cameron, can you go ahead?
What are they winning?
I know all these faces, so I'm afraid I am gonna be biased. You want to pick somebody, Cameron?
I don't know. I see oxslam.eth.
Well, he's a team member for Mass, so maybe pick someone else. I'm going to give him a tip.
Well, that's how random I'm picking them, I guess.
Yeah. He's probably stoked to get that prize. I'll have to give him something anyway as a thanks.
No, we're like, I only see. Yeah, I'm on my phone, so I don't see what. Don't pick me to. No, I'm not my responsibility. Please.
All right, maybe I pick one. I see there was a guy in here who was all the way at the beginning, very patient, waiting. Muhammad Hayat. So we'll pick him. So we've got 2 winners
since the beginning.
Yeah, he was. And the prizes, so one of you will win $50 of mask tokens and $50 of Timpi, and the other prize will be a $50 mask prize. So, hey, you stay the whole time, you get some rewards, you learn some and get some alpha, and you learn about the reason we're building this stuff. That's all. Everyone's a winner in that. Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for also hosting that.
Corey, that's the best question I could ask.
What's that?
I said, how are we closing this down?
Do you have some soundtracks loaded up for us, good sir? Are you on the money?
I have a little something. It's I don't have my main soundboard. I haven't unpacked it from the conference, but we can do a few things if you're interested, because I don't think I do this often enough, especially not for Gareth. So, yeah, what do you think?
Do it, man. Make it pop.
Well, I just want to make sure that we can actually get a clip at the end of this space to share out with everybody else. So we covered a lot of stuff, from what Mask is actually about to release, from being able to actually go to that final country and pick the place where you're going to technically be browsing from, so you can get the best results. And regardless of where you're going to, from your Netflix of the world to buying plane tickets, Mask can actually take care of you. It can take care of your decentralized VPN needs, and it's coming to everyone. With this extension that they just launched, it is more accessible than ever. And I want to have a huge shout out for Timpi for what they continue to do, which is deploying nodes the right way, getting out there and ensuring that people are not only deploying nodes, but they're actually getting used. So keep an eye out. On the 29th, we're going to have a node sale once again for you all to actually participate and enjoy this wonderful network. New website coming around as well. So for Timpi, all you got to do is go timpi.io to check out what's going on. While this old website's still up, you can actually check out the details and the requirements to run each one of the nodes under their node page. You can also check out Mask at their wonderful website link, which is very simple. It's just maskbrowser.com. And most of all, thank you all for showing up today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to these guys, because they are here to help. They want to grow this community and ensure that we're getting the most out of everything that we do in this Web3 space. Thank you all so much for showing up. We wouldn't be here if you guys didn't actually care to listen, and well, win some money too, which goes a long way as well. So make sure you're following everybody here on stage. You guys are phenomenal. It's been a great conversation, and I can't wait to do this again, definitely before the 29th. Gareth, I'm holding you to it. Let's have a good time. Make sure that everybody's getting hyped up about this node sale. And yeah, I'm not going to say coupon code action, but y'all know how to roll. Thank y'all so much for showing up, and we're going to see you guys on the next space. Take care, everybody.